What if one of America's closest allies suddenly became the center of a global standoff? Not because of war, but because of tariffs, troops, and a frozen island rich in strategic value. That's exactly what's happening right now as President Donald Trump revives one of the most controversial ideas of his political career: acquiring Greenland. Trump's interest in Greenland isn't new. Back during his first term, he floated the idea publicly, sparking disbelief and backlash across Europe. At the time, it was dismissed as political theater. But after returning to office following the 2025 inauguration, the idea has returned, this time with real pressure behind it. The reason is simple. The Arctic is no longer a quiet frontier. It has become a strategic chessboard where global powers are racing for influence. Greenland may look like a massive sheet of ice on a map, but it sits at the crossroads of emerging Arctic shipping lanes, advanced missile defense routes, and rare Earth resources. As climate change opens new passages, both Russia and China have expanded their Arctic ambitions, prompting Washington to rethink its long-term security posture in the region. From Trump's perspective, Greenland isn't just territory, it's leverage. That growing concern alarmed European allies, especially Denmark, which governs Greenland as an autonomous territory. In response, Denmark and several NATO partners quietly increased their military presence on the island, framing it as defensive cooperation and joint training. Multinational exercises like Arctic Endurance brought small troop deployments from Germany. The UK, France, Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands, and Finland moves meant to signal unity and commitment, not provocation. But Washington saw it differently. On January 17, 2026, Trump took to Truth Social and announced sweeping tariffs on imports from multiple European NATO allies. Starting February 1st, the tariffs would hit 10%, rising sharply to 25% by June unless what Trump described as a complete and total purchase. Agreement for Greenland was reached. The countries named weren't rivals. They were allies: Denmark, Germany, the United Kingdom, France, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Netherlands. The reaction was immediate and explosive. European leaders accused the US of economic coercion, warning that using tariffs against allies undermines the very foundation of NATO. Protests erupted in Copenhagen, with demonstrators rejecting any suggestion that Greenland could be sold or pressured into changing sovereignty. In Germany, a small reconnaissance team stationed in Greenland quietly withdrew after just 44 hours, a move widely interpreted as an effort to de-escalate amid mounting trade tensions. By January 18th, European leaders issued a rare joint statement calling the threatened tariffs a dangerous downward spiral that risks fracturing the transatlantic alliance. They stressed that their Arctic exercises pose no threat to the United States and were conducted fully within NATO frameworks. French President Emmanuel Macron went further, rejecting what he called intimidation through economics and warning that Europe would not yield to pressure. Behind closed doors, the European Union began emergency discussions on countermeasures. Officials openly debated retaliatory tariffs that could reach more than $100 billion, while Germany pushed to activate the EU's anti-coercion instrument, a powerful trade defense tool designed specifically to respond to economic threats from foreign governments. For the first time in years, the unity of the Western alliance looked visibly strained. Meanwhile, the situation also sparked backlash inside the United States. Several U.S. senators, including members of Trump's own party, questioned the wisdom of threatening allies at a time of rising global instability. Critics warned that pressuring NATO partners could weaken collective security and hand strategic advantages to adversaries like Russia and China, ironically the very threat Trump says he's trying to counter. As of January 19, 2026, no tariffs have actually been implemented. Negotiations remain stalled, and no country has signaled willingness to discuss any sale of Greenland. Yet the damage may already be done. Trust between allies has been shaken, markets are watching closely, and the Arctic, once a symbol of cooperation, is fast becoming a flashpoint. This crisis isn't just about Greenland. It's about how power is exercised in a changing world. Can economic force replace diplomacy among allies? And what happens to global security when pressure tactics are aimed inward, not outward? Whether this standoff ends in compromise or confrontation, one thing is clear: the Arctic is no longer on the sidelines of global politics, and neither are the consequences of this dispute. Your support helps us continue to bring these important stories to light. Stay informed and stay engaged.